Hello everyone, my name is Dolores Hagen. I'd like to invite you to the Henderson Hummingbird Hurrah, August 18 and 19, 2012. Oh, it's going to be a city-wide event with activities for everyone, including workshops, presentations, dinner with Jim Gilbert, children's activities, garden tours, field trips to the Rapids Lake Visitor Center, a big hummingbird mall with tons of goodies to buy, plus hummingbirds from every angle you can imagine, including banding with Don Mitchell. 2 full days of fun for the whole family. But for a sneak peek at what to expect, join me now for a look at the Henderson Hummingbird Hurrah in years past. It's narrated by Ron Shera and produced by Jonathan Carlson of Epic Media, and kind of fun to watch. Let's take a look.
Every August, you might say there's a humdinger of a celebration in the Minnesota river town of Henderson. Call it the Hummingbird Hurrah.
Our next banding session is at 2 o'clock.
The ruby-throated hummingbird is Minnesota's only species of hummer. Breeding pairs can be found throughout the state. 15 years ago, Henderson resident Dolores Hagen had just finished landscaping the garden around her home.
One day, this beautiful tiny little bird flew through, and had this gorgeous red throat, and I discovered it was a ruby-throated hummingbird, and I liked it. So, long story short, I started adding flowers and feeders and feeders and flowers, and here we are 15 years later, and I've got one video frame, 74 hummingbirds in that one frame.
Okay, got him.
Don Mitchell is a master gardener with the University Extension Service in Goodhue County. Today, he has his hands full of hummingbirds.
Oh, you can hear it. Looks like I'm a little baby.
I want to see what a band looks like.
A small metal ID band is attached to one of its tiny legs.
And it looks like this is a adult female that we have.
Hummingbird fans flock to Dolores' garden for a close-up look.
So by blowing apart the feathers of that part of their anatomy, you can see how much fat they've built up from migration. As the days get shorter, there's hormonal changes in their bodies that give them the urge to migrate. This is actually the fattest bird we've had so far today.
Well, fair, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this one gets a score of 3. It's on a scale of 0 to 5.
All right.
So that hollow area is about half full.
Okay.
How much do you think that weighs?
Probably about, I'm going to guess about 3.6 grams probably.
I discovered that they come back to where they hatched, and if there's food available, likely they'll stick around.
Ruby-throated hummingbirds from here winter in southern Mexico in the highlands or in Central America. And hummingbirds, unlike a lot of other birds, migrate during the day. So I'm getting a bill measurement, and I'll get a wing measurement.
Hummingbirds are one of more than 200 species of birds that can be found along the Minnesota River. To help birders and non-birders alike find the hot spots, the Audubon Society has established the Minnesota River Valley Birding Trail.
The most interesting example of a consequence to creating the birding trail is occurring today in the town of Henderson. And certainly if you look around here and see the number of hummingbirds, I've really grown to appreciate the areas immediately adjacent to this town as a wonderful birding area.
There's been more activity down here than I'd venture to say anywhere along the river for years. Conservation of the actual river bottoms, dedicated owners of property that have reclaimed and replanted and done so much for the river. Because I'm certainly not the only one in town doing this. I mean, Henderson has become literally the feeding frenzy capital of birds on their way south.
The Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge also helps hummingbirds thrive. Assistant Refuge Manager Jean Holler.
We're trying to restore and manage natural communities on the refuge and on private lands of the lower Minnesota River in 16 different units coming 99 miles upstream. So altogether, right now, we have 14,000 acres that are permanently protected for wildlife. We have over 35 miles of trails, over 220 bird species that reside on the refuge, either in migration or nest there. Some of you guys have seen the hummingbirds being banded here today.
Okay, so now we need a volunteer to release the bird. Okay. You were first.
Yeah.
You were first. And this one may stick around for a minute or so. She seems pretty docile. Then oftentimes they'll sit in your hand for. Oh. I was going to say for a minute or two. But more like a second or two.
Oh,
So.
do you feel magical? Yeah. That's great. Thank you for letting me do
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So come and join us. The Henderson Hummingbird Hurrah, August 18 and 19, 2012, Henderson, Minnesota. Come be with us.